welcome to Doing More. I'm Erica Cardenas. Ask a child what he or she wants to be when they grow up, and you'll most likely get the same response kids have given for years. A cowboy, a firefighter, or maybe a police officer. But here's what has changed. That cowboy is using DNA markers to identify the healthiest cattle, aerial cameras are helping firefighters detect hotspots, and crime fighters are using biometrics like retina scans and DNA to quickly identify criminals. That's why STEM education, science, technology, engineering, and math are so important to students today and the careers of tomorrow. Today I'm at Connect to STEM, a free event for students presented by the University of Arizona in partnership with Cox Communications, and everyone here is learning and having fun. Take a look.
This is the 4th annual Connect to STEM event. It's a partnership, Cox Communications, and the University of Arizona College of Medicine here in downtown Phoenix. We've been doing this for 4 years, and the goal is to inspire young people. We want to introduce them to all things STEM, science, technology, engineering, math, and medicine, to inspire them to see themselves doing something within one of these fields. So we'll have over 10,000 people here today doing a lot of hands-on activities involving STEM.
It's easy to reflect back about 5 years ago when Sheldon from Cox and I sat down and said, hey, what do you think about putting together a STEM event for kids? And we really just had a dream, and to look at this dream come true 4 years later and to have 10,000 of our closest friends with us here today in downtown Phoenix, it really warms our heart, and it's just exciting to see the kids get inspired by something new, to meet a medical student for the first time. I've even heard that there are kids here today that have never been on a university campus before. We're really proud to open up the doors of the University of Arizona and make sure that everyone feels welcome to come in.
Year in and year out, we get nothing but positive feedback from mainly parents saying, I'm so glad you put on an event like this where I could bring my children and expose them to things they've never seen before. We want to inspire them to really envision themselves in a career field touching STEM. So one day, they'll be the innovators of the future and doing new and innovative things for our community. Each year we try to grow it. We try to bring more to the community, but we also try to bring the community to the event.
Students and young people have the opportunity to learn how to suture. The same equipment that they would use as a student here is the same equipment that young people today have the opportunity to touch and feel and learn all about and ask questions. What does this do? Does your leg really do that? And so that makes it really fun to see.
One of the things that I love about this event is the way kids can get their hands on and touch things. For example, Lego has a whole table set up with all of their Legos, getting kids involved with engineering. You know, how do you build things? Our friends from Westwood Robotics have brought their high school team to teach young people about how to build a robot, you know, what it takes to compete in competitions.
It's our duty as adults in the community to cultivate that inspiration and that exploration and really get young people involved. And so I really celebrate, I'm really proud of our Phoenix community because I think we're doing a great job.
It's invaluable. They get to learn by being hands-on, and that's what we try to do at Connect STEM every year.
It's so good to see the students attending Connect to STEM are bright and engaged. I can report the future is in good hands. We'll be back with more on Doing More right after this.
For more great videos highlighting all that's happening across Arizona, visit YurView.com.
Welcome back to Doing More. Today we're attending the Connect to STEM event where students have an opportunity to learn about the connection between technology and careers. A career in medicine is always popular with students, and that's an area where technology is making incredible advances. Like robots that can assist surgeons. Kids here today are getting to see the Da Vinci surgery robot put through its paces. It's pretty remarkable. Technology isn't replacing surgeons, just giving them better tools. And as a result, patients are having better outcomes. Tools like the Da Vinci begin as the idea of an engineer, and learning to think creatively is a skill that can be developed when kids are very young, if they get the right opportunities. Take a look.
Case has been in the state for about 25 years in one variation or another, and we are the statewide information and advocacy resource for out-of-school time programs. Those are all the programs that youth participate in before school, after school, summer, and during school break time. A quality after-school program has a variety of activities. Some have STEM focuses, some have art focused, some have a variety of choices that the youth can participate in. Some have a strong academic focus. They all enable youth to have enriching, hands-on experiences outside of the classroom. Cox has been a long-time partner and supporter of out-of-school time programming and AZK specifically for almost 15 years now. But we specifically started focusing on STEM in 2012. We saw a real push in the community for youth to have more STEM skills. And so in 2012, AZK and Cox partnered to offer what we call a STEM mini-grant program for out-of-school time. And it enables programs who may not have the resources to start STEM activities in their after-school program to get those resources and really offer those STEM opportunities to the youth that they serve. In order to be eligible, you have to be either starting or enriching a STEM program after school or during the summer, serving youth between the ages of 6 and 18 in the state of Arizona. They can ask for anywhere between $500 and $1,500, and then depending on their needs. We've granted 61 grants since 2012 to 61 different programs who now have STEM that wouldn't have had STEM opportunities for the youth otherwise. Starting March 1st, we have an open window of about 60 days where programs can go onto our website at azafterschool.org, and it'll be right there on the homepage when the applications are open. And they tell us a little bit about the youth that they serve and what they would like to provide to them in the area of STEM and what that budget would look like. And then we work with a team of folks at Cox to select the folks that will receive the grants each year. We send them a check, and then they send us photos and reports, and we get to go and see the amazing things that they do either over the summer or the following fall. Students spend 80% of their waking hours outside of a traditional classroom. So the impact that we can make in the after-school and summer arenas are huge. And we can give youth the opportunity to find their passion, their voice, and their ability to lead so they can be the great future leaders that we need for our state and our country.
After-school programs can inspire kids to reach for the stars, and STEM classes help them get there. But all students must have a basic skill to help them be successful. They must be able to read.
Hi, I'm Gary Mlodzik, Cox employee for 17 years, and a volunteer at Kids Need to Read for the last 5 years. I was looking for something to do to make some meaning to my life. I've worked in sales for many years, always looking out for me and my family, and now it's time to give back. My wife's worked in the library for 11 years. I've always been an avid reader. Our kids are readers, so we found something that we could do as a family.
Hi there, I'm Denise Gary. I'm the Executive Director of Kids Need to Read. We provide books and literacy programs to children all over the United States, but we're located here in Mesa, Arizona. Most people don't know that there are children all over the country living in areas that don't have access to books. The stat is actually 32.5 million children. There's some areas, especially like the reservations and other really low socioeconomic areas that don't have libraries in their area. But sometimes they'll have libraries, but the people don't have transportation to those libraries. And as well, there's schools that can't afford to buy books, and some of them have told us they haven't been able to purchase books for 20 years. So a lot of their books are falling apart. Some of them have even closed their libraries because they're useless. So there are children everywhere that are in need of books. So that's what we're for. We're here to provide those books to these children.
If we can go in and get them some books and maybe open up some doors, open up some ideas, give them exposure to what's going on in the rest of the world, whether it be fantasy or graphic novels. Kids nowadays love nonfiction books. They thrive on reality. So whether it be talking about big trucks or polar exploration or whatever, the kids really seem to enjoy that. And it gets them reading.
When I read, I always get into character of that book I'm reading to the children. So you notice the pirate hat. Down the hatch, me laddies! When I read a pirate book, I'm talking in the pirate voice, and it's gravelly and it's bold, and and I get the kids to repeat and to sing those pirate songs and to draw them into that world. And that's how you spark their imagination. So it's not just a dry words on page. You're making that book come alive for them. And that's how they learn about other worlds, other experiences, other cultures.
Cox Communications has been so supportive of my work with them. My director, my team leader, everybody's like, hey, if you need time off to do this, we'll work with you. We'll do the best we can for you.
We love having Gary on our team. I just feel so lucky to have him, so fortunate. He gives so much to us, and that kind of passion, that's what you need.
We have to start giving back. We have to start finding a way to put a purpose in our lives to help others, bring on the next generation. You don't like what you see, try and make a difference.
Keep on reading.
We all talk about STEM, but STEAM is just as important. I'll explain the difference when Doing More returns. Don't go away.
Having fun exploring community, culture, food, EMOS with Sous Vide? Head on over to YurView.com for more videos.
Oh my god, exactly. See these little LEDs? They don't like 9 volts. 9 volts is bad. If I put 9 volts, goes up. Look at that, look.
I love it. Hi, I'm Erica Cardenas. Welcome back to Doing More. Today we're at a celebration of science, technology, engineering, and math called Connect to STEM. It's a great opportunity for students to learn about careers and the important role STEM plays in those jobs. A lot of people think STEM should be STEAM, with the A standing for the arts. Well, Cox Communications agrees, and that's why they're part of a unique program taking the arts on the road. All aboard the Art Mobile.
So the Cox Arizona Art Mobile was started because we knew there was a lot of people in the community that weren't able to come down to the Phoenix Center for the Arts. And specifically, there's a lot of kids in the community who are not getting arts as a part of their education anymore because of cuts to education and cuts to funding. When we have kids who don't have access to the arts, you have kids who don't have a whole cornerstone to their education. You need science, you need math, you need history, and you need the arts. Because we're really good at telling kids what to learn, but we're not very good at telling kids how they can learn. And we need to give kids a chance to figure out who they are for themselves. So one example of the difference that we see in kids is their ability and their willingness to learn. And the other really consistent data point we have with kids at the community centers is that we consistently hear that is their most attended activity, because they love what they're going to be doing, whether it's creative writing, whether it's music, whether it's dance. The arts are really, really good, and one of the best things we do in the arts is creating community. But the point is to have fun, to tap into your creativity, and when we do that together, truly everybody wins. So we conceived of this idea to help bring arts to kids who weren't getting it. The Cox Arizona Art Mobile visits community centers and schools, mostly boys and girls clubs. They're our great partner in this as well. And we bring free arts classes out to these community centers with paid artists. We bring the materials, but we need community partners. And thanks largely to Cox Media's sponsorship of the Arizona Art Mobile, we have served almost 5,000 kids in about 4 years. And those are kids who, without this, may not otherwise have had any access to the arts.
The Art Mobile is also available for team building events. I guess a little creative expression is good for anyone, no matter the age. I'm going to learn a little bit more about this Manduka here at Connect to STEM. We'll be right back.
Explore more ways that people are leading healthier lives. Head over to YurView.com for additional videos from Your Health.
This is a robot made entirely out of Legos and motors. It has these sensors up front, and it'll turn when the sensors see an obstacle, so we'll put it in the ring. And you can put your hand in front of it and it'll turn.
Welcome back to Doing More. We're at the Connect to STEM event in downtown Phoenix. The University of Arizona and Cox Communications have partnered to help students make the connection between STEM education and careers they might enjoy. There's just one more thing all kids need to be successful, and that's the belief in themselves. And that's something that LGBTQ youth may struggle with. Fortunately, there's an organization that empowers and understands. Take a look.
Hi, I'm Nate Roten, the Executive Director for 1 in 10. 1 in 10 is a 25-year-old Valley nonprofit, an organization that was started in 1993 to provide services to LGBTQ youth, primarily a safe space for youth to be who they are and help them be the best that they can be.
I'm Travis Shoemake. I'm the Director of Development at 1 in 10. So at the time of our founding 25 years ago, it was estimated that 1 in 10 high school students were LGBTQ, and at the time there were no support services or anything to identify or provide a place to meet up for that age range.
What's interesting is that things haven't changed all that much. Yes, LGBTQ rights have shifted and we've certainly gained more rights, but what was so important back then was a safe space. That's still important today.
I just recently met with a youth who 12 days ago was disenfranchised from her family in Mesa for coming out. We had a youth I met last week. Again, these are all current situations that walked 3 days from Apache Junction to find support services here at 1 in 10 after being told to leave his home by his family for coming out as gay. The challenges that face our community are live and present today, and there's still such a need for a place to call home.
We now have a housing program, workforce development, a youth center in Central Phoenix, as well as 6 satellite locations across Arizona. We have the largest LGBTQ summer camp that just celebrated its 10th year. So we offer a wide variety of programming. All of this programming would not be possible if it weren't for the tremendous support we've received from Arizonans and, frankly, folks across the United States. One of those supporters is Cox Communications. Cox stepped in at a critical time for us in 2014 by awarding us a Cox Technology Grant. This grant allowed us to purchase 14 computers for our brand new Queer Blended Learning Center. This was a brand new idea to allow youth to come and take high school courses in partnership with K-12 in a safe space within our youth center. This Cox Technology Grant not only bought those 14 computers, but also purchased a system for us to track our youth called KidTracks. This started giving us quality data about the youth that were utilizing our programs. All of this turned into additional opportunities for grant funding from other grantors across the state. On behalf of 1 in 10, our youth and our staff, I'd like to say a sincere thank you to the Cox Communications family and Cox Charities. They have done so much to make us who we are today and enable us to provide our services that we do each and every day free of charge to our youth. It's a critical piece of who we are, and a big thank you for helping us get here.
Before we go today, I have one more story to share. The kids you see here at Connect to STEM have bright futures and big dreams, but that's not necessarily the case for every child. Often an illness complicates future plans. Jack in the Box understands that, and they're doing something about it, and you can help.
Jack in the Box is one of the oldest quick-serve restaurant chains in the nation. Actually credited with the first drive-thru ever, believe it or not. It's very strong here in Phoenix, Arizona. They have a lot of locations, just under 140 locations in the Phoenix, Arizona area. This all started, I think, 5-6 years ago, and it was just we wanted to grant a wish for a child at Make-A-Wish. So it was just our employees. We all got together and said, we want to allow Tiffany to walk on the beach. Tiffany was a wish kid who was losing the ability to walk, and she had one wish, and that was to be able to walk on the beach in Hawaii before she lost the ability to do so. So everybody at Stein Enterprises got together, chipped in. We didn't even ask our guests at this point. This was all just internal, and we raised enough money not only to grant Tiffany's wish, but 2 wishes. So from there, it just kind of catapulted into we can do more.
A franchise operator from Phoenix, Arizona, when they approached me, Tucson would like to participate in this Make-A-Wish, because they were doing it the year before me. And we said, absolutely we will. And all my team jumped on that from the very first day in this campaign for us. And we love to do it. It's a great charity, it's an awesome charity, and for the kids, more importantly.
What Make-A-Wish does is it's a lot more than just a gift or a vacation. It actually does inspire the children to improve. There are 4 other franchisees in Phoenix. And so I got together with them and said, hey, together we can raise more money than just my own locations. Let's come up with these wish stars, where we'll try and raise $1 or $5 from our guests. We'll do it the entire month of March. And let's see how much money we can raise.
We did like over $370,000 charity combined. And our goal is this year as Arizona, if we can do $130,000 more, we will hit $500,000 for this awesome charity.
We raised enough money for 58 wishes. We're counting on Jack in the Box customers to come in, donate $1 to our Wish Star campaign to grant the wish of children with life-threatening illnesses.
Thanks for joining me today here at Connect to STEM. I've learned so much about STEM and STEAM. My kids will definitely have to be here with me next year. I'm Erica Cardenas. Join me for more good news stories on the next Doing More.